This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
You know how sometimes the first play of the game can be a real tone setter?
Aussie.
Yeah, I basically just went with Ashton Jen Teabag.
NFL.
He's not a walking 7 for 70 as I learned last week when he went 1 for 5.
Fantasy.
I'd probably lean towards taking Henry maybe ahead of McCaffrey just because of what I've seen.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Loading.
Australia's premier NFL fantasy football show is back. For the Aussie Gridiron Network, this is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. 1 week is in the books now. It's been winners, losers, and quite a lot to take away from it all. So let's get into it. They call me Matty C, and back with me to make head or tail of all this mania is Australia's finest fantasy analyst. Welcome back, Taylor.
Matty C, we head towards week 2 tonight with Bowdo. But the expression on my face is anything but a frown, dough. Let's fucking go.
That is worthy. That is so worthy of the guest. I love this.
I don't talk about Worthy. That's a bit of a deep cut for any Xavier Worthy owners from week 1. Don't bring that shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah, actually, you're right. I shouldn't talk about that. A horrible, horrible way to start the season. And we'll get into someone who actually had some skin in that a little bit later. But what a terrible way to start. A player who everyone, I think, was pretty hopeful for just rubbed out, and we won't see him for a few weeks.
Yeah, thanks, Travis Kelce, you wanker.
Yeah. Can that guy retire already?
Yeah, please. to shouldering his players that actually have juice.
Yeah. Mate, speaking of juice, this is something that I do every week. It's only for my benefit and our guest as well, is that when we're on the Zoom here, you often pop up a little picture of a player for one reason or another. Who is your picture? Why?
Oh, just a shout out to JSN. He was the only wide receiver in his team that could actually put up with how shit Sam Darnold was and still have a decent fantasy day. So shout out to JSN. He's basically making a turd, look like a bit of a polished turd. So good on him.
Yeah, roll that turd in a little bit of glitter, not too much. But no, I think it shows that this guy's going to be quarterback proof his whole career. Oh my God. How wonderful was that performance from JSN, given if you just took the body of Sam Darnold's work and mate, I reckon I heard the guys in G'day Gridiron pretty much say you could just roll out every bad game Gino had at the Seahawks. There was none as bad as what Sam Darnold played on the weekend.
It reminds me of the meme with the Ferrari and next to the house that looks like shit. It's just like JSN on that Seattle offense with Sam Darnold just looks so out of place because he's just so much better than everyone else.
Mate, I need to hear from you about people who are better than everyone else. We have got, count it, 4 fantasy football leagues for listeners running this year. The winners in each of these leagues score a very cool Aussie NFL fantasy prize pack from the Aussie Gridiron Network, our merch store. I have an update from my league. I actually did a really big trade in one of my leagues, in the Amflip Red League, where I traded away Jamar Chase and I got back Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey, which punted. I had Jordan Love, I think, or Dak, was my other starting quarterback. So it's just punted him down onto my bench, and I've got Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey. Didn't help me get the win, though. I actually ate a big loss in that league. So nice start from me.
Well, Jesus, you would have ate it even further if you stuck with Chase and didn't get Lamar and fucking Christian McCaffrey. Jesus Christ. You would have scored about 50 points.
So I dodged the oncoming train, but thanks to Randall McSupercoach for helping me with that trade. And I feel terrible because I've given him the 101 and he delivered an absolute turd. But it was great to see that the trade straight away. High stakes. That's what I love. I love to see a high stakes trade. How'd your gold league and blue league go?
Yeah, so in one of them, in the blue league, I got a win, which I was happy with. So shout out to @FatWatts, who's the leader of that league currently. I won with 145.82 points, and he won with 151.26. So he's got the highest score from a week 1 winner so far. So shout out to him. Also, shout out to my mate Michael Poe, who vanquished me in the Gold League. He's sitting in 3rd. Our boy Kev is actually first at the moment. He scored a whopping 185.2 points, so he's leading the way in the Gold League.
Mate, I've got to pay a little bit of homage to the guys in the Green League. Getty's Lads leads that league because he got a big old win on the weekend, throw up 168 points. He faces me this week, so he's not scared of me after seeing what happened to me last week. But I did message him in my little smack talk message. You know how I've got this thing this year where I'm just, everyone I play in the league, I'm just going to send them a gentle smack talk message early in the week. Ineffective or effective, don't know. It's still early doors. But just to say to get his lads, mate, there is not just me, but 8 other people in this league who want you to lose to me this week because you're first spot. So hopefully it gets in his head a bit. In the Red League, which is the 4th league that I was talking about, the wonderful trade I did, I'm up against Delhi's Dream Team, which I think is just a great name. And I thought you would love, actually, Tay. But the leader of that league at the moment is Doddles, who played me in week 1. He just vanquished me. He threw up 164 points. Good on you, Doddles. And that league is going to be super competitive, I can tell. There's already been a lot of waiver movement and plenty of trade talks. Not a ton of trades, but plenty of trade talks. So that league's going to get spicy as the year goes on.
Stuff, mate. Shout out to everyone in those leagues too. Great to have you in there and a chance to win some merch. Why not?
100%. And I like that I'm clearly getting a lot of best shots, which I kind of love. I'm just going to keep on smack talking in there and see if I can ruffle up a few feathers. Mate, quickly, I want to talk about some players who kind of did dud us on the weekend, mate. I introduced the idea of maybe having a pit of despair. We can throw some players who we're just done with into called the PUNTAGON. And I want to see if we can get some people into PUNTAGON straight out of the gate. Guys whose names shall no longer be spake in fantasy. A lightning round. Tell me whether these guys should be dispatched of now or whether there's still some hope. Matthew Golden, 2 targets. He was meant to be the great saviour at Green Bay. PUNTAGON or keep?
Nah, look, there's always nuance to these questions, but just, off the top of my head, I would say no. He's a rookie. Just give him time. You can't just... I don't know exactly what you expected in week 1 for him. Not everyone's Egg Booker and getting 2 fucking touchdowns. So, yeah, I think, hold on. I do think there's a good chance he does become the one eventually. If you've got, some amazing player on the waiver wire, I don't think he is, 100% to keep, but I'm not going out of my way to get rid of him, put it that way.
Okay. Cooper Kupp, 3 targets, mate. Yuck.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm fine with you punting Cooper Kupp. Like I said, I just think that's JSN's team. I don't have any trust in Sam Darnold. I think throw Cooper Kupp to the curb, mate.
Fucking hell. All right, Jerome Ford, 1.5 fantasy points.
Yeah, I felt that in my nutsack. There was definitely a couple of leagues I actually played him in over some good options and also put him in starts of the week. So, yeah, I'm definitely out on him. I still think he gets 50% of that workload until Quinshon Judkins comes in. Samson looked far better, but there is an opportunity where he does play better this week than he did last week. But I don't know. If you've got a better option of waivers, I've got no issue with you punting him. But if you have to keep him, just sit him on your bench.
They played Cincinnati. There's no excuse. Ray Davis, 11% of snaps.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, right? I actually put him on a couple of leagues where I don't even have James Cook. I just decided that he was the right backup. I'm going to say keep because I think it was mainly game script. I think Tyler Johnson came and played a lot because they were behind, and obviously you got James Cook in front of him. But I think that was more game script. I think there's going to be other game scripts where they're in front and they're going to run the ball a lot more. And I think Ray Davis will get more involved there. So I would say hold.
Okay. Last one, Kate Otten, duck egg. Can't explain it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he was your starting tight end, you've probably done something wrong. Anyway, go for someone else. There's plenty of options on the waiver wire this week, mate. So, yeah, I think you just get rid of him, cut bait, and just go for a different streamer.
All right, couple of guys in the PUNTAGON right there. Cooper Kupp, Jerome Ford, probably Kate Otten. See you later. Couple of guys here, lightning round here on pickups. Mate, Quentin Johnson's been a hot name around. You after him?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? I feel like there's a couple of charges, wide receivers that that are kind of sitting there in waivers this week. And, I think the thing that was interesting was obviously he caught his passes, which is a difference from some other years he's been in the league. But it was more about the pass rate of the Chargers. They seem to actually be passing a lot instead of just, leaning on the run. So, it was an interesting one. Herbert looked amazing. Yeah, I'm in. If you can get Quentin Johnson, I wouldn't be spending half my fab budget on him or anything. But I think if I was in waivers, just a regular waiver order, I'd be putting a claim on him, and I'd be spending some fab on him for sure.
What about Hollywood?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Again, it's quite injury dependent. I do think it's one that's going to have a timeline on it. It's basically one that you're probably not going to get huge you're not going to get a lot out of it probably after, say, week 6 when Rice returns. And obviously Worthy, it looks like he's going to avoid surgery, so he's eventually going to come back as well. So it's a very much like a 2 or 3 week play. But I'm fine with him going for him. I think he's a very good player in the next couple of weeks because, honestly, I just don't know who the fuck else they have. And if Kelsey can't step up and be the target hog, you saw Hollywood absolutely, just soak in the targets last week. So, yeah, I like it. I'd go for him for sure.
And if I'd lost week 1, and if I had Worthy in my team, I probably lost week 1. Then, yeah, I'm doing it. If I won, I'm not under a lot of pressure. Dan Jones, what the fuck, by the way?
Oh, my God. I'm very interested to see what that Dolphins defense looks like this week because I am wondering if it's more of a let's fucking target that Dolphins defense because it's horrendous. Then more so me thinking that like Dan Jones is just the messiah this year in fantasy. So I'm not going out of my way to go grab Dan Jones. I'll probably let someone else do that, but I'm keeping an eye on it. But I think what I'm more doing is keeping an eye on the Dolphins defense because I think that's the better chance of it being why he dominated.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about the Dolphins defense a bit later too. I've got some questions there, but I also think if you can do it versus Denver, then I'll believe. So that's one I just circled. I'm not going after him, but I just circled. Last one, mate. And sorry?
Huge test. That's a huge test against Denver. It goes from one extreme to another. If he can do it against Denver, then I will definitely change my tune.
Yeah, because we saw Cam Ward struggle, move the ball, but struggle. So it's, Dan Jones isn't Cam Ward in his first NFL start, but he's not exactly like he's been a true, tried and tested, reliable player all the time. So it'll just be fascinating. Mate, last one and only because I brought up Quentin Johnson earlier. I'm like, well, what are you going to do with Keenan Allen?
Yeah, I actually think I'm in on Keenan Allen a little bit more than I'm even in on Quentin Johnson. It was the targets, it was the usage, I saw more out of the passing game for the Chargers than I probably expected. Don't get me wrong. I think when like Hampton and Najee sort of hit their stride, there might be games where they still do lean on the run. But I do think Harbaugh trusts Herbert, and at any moment they need to release him, they will. So I think Keenan Allen's just clearly trusted in that wide receiver room, and I think he's going to soak up a lot of targets. So I would probably have Keenan Allen right near the top of my waiver list.
But boom, that's the news to this minute. We've sent some guys to PUNTAGON. We've just gone through a couple of guys who are pretty hot on the waivers. So if there's one of these kicking around, you're in a bit of need. They're the folks we think you should have some confidence in. Mate, I've got some confidence in our guest. Should we bring in Bowdo?
Let's fucking do it.
G'day, Gridiron.
Anyone that hasn't joined us before, it's pretty simple. Let's kick it off, eh? Is everyone ready?
The four horsemen of NFL in Australia.
If the sound ever plays, the picture's officially in.
Nick the lineman.
So it's the worst against any team, and it's also the worst passer rating that he has against any team at 66.3.
Brad the coach.
The Steelers have held the Ravens under 20 points in 7 straight games.
Isaac the analyst.
For this one, I couldn't understand it either. Like, I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Ian the Viking.
Full of passion, full of fight. They might genuinely be interesting to watch again.
Previews, overreactions, and bloody best bets.
If Derrick Henry can get rolling, then I think it's no contest. The Ravens are going to win.
As a fan of the NFL, you hope he comes back because he's just an absolute beast when he gets on there.
That would be able to give, at least Justin Fields a chance to be able to build.
Let's move on after that insanity.
So I just think, though, it's going to stop here.
Defensively for the Bills, I don't think that's actually going to combat what the Chiefs do already.
Yeah, I guarantee Pete would get down on his knees for that.
G'day, Gridiron.
I love spreadsheets. I'm a spreadsheet man.
I love spreading my legs.
Twice a week, all season long on the Aussie Gridiron Network.
Week 1 is done and buried. Week 2 is here. We are welcoming back to the nest one of the great fantasy minds that we introduced to the show way back in pre-season. He learned about his international footy career and love for the Eagles too. So if you haven't caught that episode with Bowdo, go back and just get refreshed with him. It's way back in our mock drafts episode. But he's back. And mate, your Eagles got a win under the belt. What greater circumstances could I ask before bringing you back into the show, mate?
Go Birds, honestly. Go Birds. It was a great way to start the season, man. Opening round, Eagles, Cowboys. If you're from Philly, you hate Dallas. So, obviously an entertaining one, especially on a Friday morning for us. Great start. I was, I was trying to work, But safe to say, I did watch majority of that game.
Yeah, I bet.
I had this. I laughed at you about this, Matty. So I was home with my son. I had a day off from work on that Friday, and the initial thought process was, "Oh, sick! I've got the day off. You know, I've got to settle down and watch the NFL. How good's this?" But then you realise as a father, like you do way more at home with your children than you do at work. Like that's just seriously what happens. And I actually watched less NFL than I probably would have got a chance to if I was at work. So it's just funny how that worked out. I actually missed a lot of the game because I was actually having to be a father, so it didn't really work out as this awesome like day to watch the first game that I thought it might have.
Not to sound like a terrible dad, but man, I love Friday and Mondays. Kids are at daycare, red zone on Monday. Oh, couldn't have timed it better.
Because you're doing it right. They're in daycare. Tay was trying to do the dad daycare. Like, what were you thinking?
What was I thinking, Matty? See? What was I thinking? Fucking hell. Who doesn't love a good lightning delay, though? And a good spit on the chest. How good is it?
Oh, hot tour. Spit on that thing.
Yeah, hot tour.
So imagine that after sort of 3 snaps in the game when Carter had already been sent. There'd already been a bit of skirmish after there was an injury from chasing down the kickoff. I'm just kind of imagining, looking at the screen going, what's going to happen next?
Mate, Prescott must be a good fisherman, man, because he cast the line and Carter just bit.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I can reel
That's
him in.
right.
It was amazing.
That's right. Man, it's as we said before, the game within the game.
I mean, in the end, it didn't really matter because the Eagles really did have Dallas kind of pretty well accounted for. I think probably got a bit more than they're expecting out of the Cowboys early on. But they kept pace for a while, but I don't think the outcome really surprised anybody. But what was super interesting is after that lightning delay, the game just lost all its juice, and it just kind of became a bit of a slug out. And I think that gave me even more confidence that the Cowboys probably didn't have enough to keep up. How did you sort of feel about that second half, mate?
Yeah, it's me personally. I've been a part of lightning delay games over in the US. They're very funny with the whole lightning situation, and yeah, like one team's going to lose their juice, and I guess I'm obviously quite happy that it was Dallas that lost their juice, not the Eagles. But it's for anyone or any player. It's hard to be in that mindset for 5-6 hours. So, just happy. Eagles got the win first week. Keep going. Keep building that momentum.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Go Birds.
Did Bowdo fly this week? Mate, I hear you've upped your leagues this year. You're in more than you can even keep up with, and that waivers this week have made your phone explode. How did your first week of fantasy results go?
Now, I've never been one to check my blood pressure, but I think I should compare it to last year. It's definitely through the roof. Even my phone's like, just give me a break, mate. Just let me have a Monday off for once. Phone was flat by 8:30. I was stressed through the roof. But it's fantasy. Anyone that loves it, you can't get enough of it. So, it's at least I'm not the only one in the boat. There's nearly everyone in all these leagues are all in the same leagues as well. So, we're all in this together.
I mean, Tay, you know a bit about the suffering of your phone blowing up. You've upped your league significantly too this year. How did waivers go for you on Wednesday, mate? I imagine that was a blow up.
Oh, my phone doesn't exist anymore. It's fucking exploded. Like it was just going off. I sent that meme of just like, here it comes with the waivers just hitting like. It's hilarious because you make a claim and then you look up at the top of your screen and you're like, your claim doesn't come up for about 5 minutes because there's about 4.5 minutes of backlog of other waiver claims that have happened, like from other people in all these leagues. It's like there is so many waiver claims going on at once, like just free agency after the waivers have ran. Like it's honestly next level, like being in that many leagues, man. Like, yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was mental. I could see as the clock was ticking down to 5 o'clock too. I'm like, wow, well, I'm not actually going to be able to leave work for half an hour because I'm going to need to turn my laptop off and I'm just going to need to focus on what's about to come. Because a lot of my leagues this year, majority are through sleeper. And at this stage with Australian daylight saving having not started yet, US in daylight saving still, that it's 5 o'clock. So I knew that it was about to go ballistic, and especially in that guillotine league. I joined one of the guillotine leagues, and knowing that you got your waiver bid in, that will process, but then there's like the carcass picking of who got through waivers, and then they're free. So you had to be available for that. But then also, there's just all these other leagues. We're engaged in the listener leagues. We've got like our high stakes leagues of either money or ego, depending on what people are betting with. So yeah, this Wednesday especially was pretty stressful. It was the first one where I actually thought to myself, how am I going to manage this for the next 4 months?
And you had to make priority of like which leagues you really needed waiver claims in. Even like what you said, even when waivers ran and you either got someone or not, you had to like prioritize those leagues that you need to get in quick and say, oh shit, I really wanted to pick up a defense or something if you're in a fucking shitty league of defenses. Like, oh, I've got a crappy defense matchup this week. I need to grab a good one off waivers before they all go. Or I really needed a tight end this week because I had George Kittle go down and I didn't get the one I wanted on waivers. I need to rush in and get like the one of the other ones that are good and all look good this week before anyone else gets. You had to prioritize. And honestly, it was a fucking relief when I would go into a few of my leagues and go, you know what? I'm happy with the team. I'm not making a waiver claim on this. I could just forget about it. Those were the best leagues, honestly, mate.
Bowdo, did you have some of that relief in any of your leagues, Bowdo? Did you get in a couple and just go, I'm okay.
Well, I was just about to say, Tay, it must be nice. It must be nice just to be like, I am sweet from the draft. So I can't say I'm there yet. I've got a couple of leagues that I'm just like, what was I thinking? But that was the whole part when we did all these drafts. It was all happening at the exact same time.
Yep.
It was, I was getting the notifications, OTC, Bowdo, OTC. I'm like, fuck, all right, I'll just grab this guy. And by the end, come week one, I'm like, who is this guy? Never heard of him. But he's my starting flex. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is.
Brilliant. Well, sometimes it's fun to build from the bottom.
You got ousted in guillotine, didn't you?
Yeah. I got a sayonara pretty quickly. Now I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I had a stinker.
Honestly, mate, I saw you get out and I go, man, what a relief. I wish I was you. That was so sweet right now being able to delete one league.
And I thought the same thing. I'm like, that's one less stress. Someone's going to get Chase Brown. Good for them.
I think that might have been me. I think there was definitely one league that I put in a whole bunch of claims in I'm in 4 guillotine leagues. Thanks, Kev. And I only got one waiver claim through on any of them, and it was for Chase Brown. So I assume it was that league.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, me and Chase Brown running through the meadows.
Just a seagull flocking through, trying to find that chip.
Oh, shit.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
This feels the opposite of being picked in the sack. Let's fucking go.
You know how some years I'm like, fucking Taylor doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we're normally called major wankers instead of rankers. So, yeah, that can be our tagline.
In a car in the dark with a full erection.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
Well, we've all survived week 1, which is great news. We want to look forward to week 2. There is some super matchups in week 2, not just for television viewing, but also some really great places to pick on for fantasy value. We like to call this segment Breakouts, and it's where we get to talk about some players we think are just going to overperform. Whether we think that's someone who's middling, who's just going to deliver you a better than usual week, whether it's someone who's right at the top who we think can finish at the tippy top of their position and really be a week changer for you. This is a chance for us to talk about some of the really great fantasy performers and how they might be even better than advertised. We go through one at each position, And we're going to kick off with the quarterback this week. Tanya, I'm going to look to you first on this one. You got a quarterback breakout for us for week 2?
So I'm going to kind of ruin 2 positions by saying this in the first pick. But I'm basically saying just play fucking everyone against the Carolina Panthers. My goodness, that team sucks ass. Like, that defense is an abomination. I know we all have our issues with Kyler. He pisses us off. He just runs, he skips around all the time and he doesn't always, play consistent. But my quarterback is Kyler this week against the Panthers, who are second last against quarterback. And I'm just going to ruin running back and take Connor against the Panthers as well, who are last against running back. I honestly play fucking Trey Benson if you want. I don't care. I know we're talking about. I know I'm ruining the entire structure of this segment, but I'm just telling everyone, play your people against the Panthers. They are so bad. It is. Honestly, they have not learned a thing from last year. Honestly, the Jags could have put 40 on them. Like, there was a lightning delay in that game. Surprise, surprise as well. Which kind of sunk a lot of what the Jags was doing a bit as well. But they were just running amok on that Panthers defense. They put the Q in the rack in the second half. It's the only reason they only scored 26 points. I'm just saying, mate, Kyler and Connor / Benson, just fucking play them all.
Mate, do you want to throw a number or a position on where you think these guys can finish? Are you just going to say one for each of them?
I feel like I should. I'm going to go that same line at quarterback. I'm going to go top 4 for Kyler, actually. I'm going to give myself one extra bit of leeway. I'm going to go top 4 against the Panthers. And for Connor, like I said, I honestly don't think Trey Benson is a bad player either, but my actual guy for this segment is James Conner. I'm going to say James Conner finishes in the top 8.
I've got a lot of shares of James Conner, and I'm kind of keen to fire him up.
Yeah, and like I said, I only bring up Trey Benson because there might be some people go, aren't you worried about, there was a bit of a split backfield? And I'm like, honestly, against this team, I think there will be a split backfield because there's a chance they might be up 24-0. And they're going to want to get Benson more involved anyway. So, yeah, I honestly think there's a chance that Connor might not do much in the second half if they're in front, but I think that will be because he is absolutely dominated in the first half. So, yeah, I just think they're both Kyler and Connor for really good weeks.
Top 4 and top 8. How about it? I'm going to stick with I know Tate's trying to break this segment and test my patience, but you are much more compliant, and that's kind of why I like you. Do you have a quarterback you think will wow us all here in week 2?
I am going to go with Fields this week. Obviously, the Baltimore and Bills game was high scoring, very entertaining. But, man, there's no reason why that, a running quarterback can't put up, 100 yards just like what Lamar did the other night. So, man, he got a top 2 performance last week. I think he's ranked second at the moment in redraft. But, yeah, I reckon he'll double down again. He's obviously fitting in, leading the way for the Jets. I think he's due for a big one.
Doesn't it just look like the Jets have thought about how to build an offense for him?
Oh, yeah, 100%. The whole passing quarterback with Rodgers, that wasn't the direction. This is the era of mobile quarterbacks, and they got a bargain with this guy.
How do you feel like he's going to perform this week? Do you want to put a score total on it, or do you want to give him a top X at the position?
Well, I'll go top 3 because Kyler Murray will be 4th, and
that's fine.
I reckon Fields will be easy top 3. I reckon there's I can't see a reason why that. Week 1 was a fluke. I reckon people will be he's just looking here. In redrafts, he's only 61% have got him. In the next few weeks, people are going to be ditching their Jared Goffs, their Staffers. Yeah, they'll pick him up. They'll pick him up because, man, he will perform.
Somewhere in the Northern Territory, there is an oversized bloke with bad back clapping. Going, Matty, I've made you a believer. Kev, who's got a bad back from carrying 750 commissionerships in different fantasy leagues, that poor bastard, has been talking about Drake May for 100 million years, it feels like, because he drolls on and on and on. This is where I'm going after something you said earlier, Tay. I have no faith in Miami's defense. And this is where I want to bet on it. And I'm going to say Drake May is going to score 25 fantasy points against this Miami defense, because I don't think that they've got anything that can stop him. He does get out of the pocket. He's going to throw the ball a bunch. And I don't think there is a world where a brand new Vrabel at New England, who had a tough week one, is going to come out and go, oh, yeah, we're just going to get ahead of the Dolphins and put Q in the rack. I think he's going to want to fucking slay them in division. And if he can rack up a 40-point day, he will. It's in Miami early in the season. So it's hot, and they'll be in their away kit. That's going to be tough. Like, they'll make them wear the navy blue. But I just got some belief that Drake May will show us that is it Dan Jones? No, it was the Miami defense, because Drake May is coming to pay.
I think we're all on the same page here, because what I often do from week one is I kind of like have a look around the league and I go, what's the initial contender for basically the defense we're going to be targeting in fantasy this year? And I kind of had a look around and I'm like, there's kind of only two that are standing out to me. You could probably make a case for a couple of others, but the two main ones for me were basically the two teams you guys just picked your quarterback against. It was the Bills and it was the Dolphins. I felt like those two teams, to me, looked like very susceptible. You could also make a case, I guess, technically the Ravens, because they gave up one more point than the Bills, but I kind of felt like that was more game script idea. Like, I really felt like the Bills defense looked far worse to me than the Ravens. Like, I think the Ravens just got caught up in a bit of like Josh Allen magic in the last quarter and everything, whereas to me, it looked like the Bills actually were struggling with a lot of secondary injuries and things like that. So I really feel like right now those two teams are on my list and are definitely on my watch list of teams that I'm sort of having a look and going, maybe this could be teams we target for fantasy this year.
Yeah, and that's 100% I think what I've gone after there is just go, okay, is it the player? I don't know a lot about Drake May in terms of being a fantasy asset, but I know that Miami are not great, and there's going to be a lot of reasons in that building why they're going to want to kick the shit out of the Dolphins on the road in their division. So I'm going to rely on that.
I say that. I've already talked about the Panthers, obviously. The Panthers are an obvious one. I meant those two were kind of the ones that we weren't certain going into the year that were going to be that bad, but clearly are. The Panthers have just been shit in our eyes the entire preseason and now in terms of defense. So I didn't feel like I needed to even bring them up again, because I felt like I just waxed lyrical over two positions.
And I don't think you're done. I reckon you're going to come back and do the wide receiver and the tight end as well. Hey, Bowdo, have you got a running back that we can bank on this week, mate?
I'm going to hit up DeAndre Swift. Not because of DeAndre Swift himself. I think with Ben Johnson, I think he's going to have a couple of tricks up his sleeve. And not only that, the week before Detroit, forked out a few points against. I think it's going to be a running game, and I think Swift will benefit from that.
Right, I mean, he copped a little bit of flack for being inefficient this week with all those touches to only put up, 53 yards from like maybe 19 rushes or 18 rushes. It was pretty ineffective. But I think he also had 3 catches, which bailed him out a bit. So I think there's a bit of pressure on Swift to do more with those touches, right?
Yeah, I think after week one, I think there's a lot of players that are due for a bounce back. Not just the inefficient ones, but. It doesn't take much for a running back to be relevant again. One big game, they'll be talking about, DeAndre Swift for the next 3-4 weeks. So he done that a few years ago when he was in Philly. He ran for nearly 200 yards, and it was just like, this is our guy. And before you know it, he's off. Saquon is RB1 at Eagles. So all it takes is a one big week, and he'll be relevant.
Hey, mate, with the Swift line, do you have a rank you want him to finish at the position, or do you have like an amount of points you think is worthwhile throwing on him to just give some people some confidence to get on the Swift train?
So when it comes,
it's a big number.
When it comes to points, I was just about to say, I'm smelling at least 2 meat pies for sure. So 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I reckon he's getting at least 20 to 25.
Yeah, should I put it as 20 plus? Do you reckon that's the number to stick on it? Swifty 20
Mate,
plus?
I'm brave, man. I'm brave.
I
20
hope
plus.
he gets 20 plus if he's got two touchdowns. If he doesn't, he's had a very inefficient day.
Well,
plus,
you know what?
two TDs.
What was that crazy stat of Kelsey? He scored like 3-4 touchdowns once, and it was like less than 16 yards receiving.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was against the Raiders.
Yeah, it was.
That's right. Well, you know that goes to your inefficiency. It could be 2 1-yard runs.
Mate, I reckon what we do is we'll give you a split here. We'll give you if he scores more than 20, yeah. But also if he doesn't score more than 20, but he still gets the 2 tutties. I think whatever he scores, if he gets the 2 tutties, amazing. But even if he doesn't get the tutties, I think if he still gets 20, we should give it to you. I think that like both of them are saying have some confidence.
Mate, I'll need a job at Ladbrokes if I get that right.
You just need to start up your own book, mate, I reckon.
Lad chokes.
Lad chokes, yes.
It's amazing. Mate, I'm going to go to the other. Bowdo's brought up wide running back on my Astro League team. I'm going to go straight to the other and bring up CMC because wasn't it great to see him get 22 carries. 22 carries in an offense where they've just lost pretty much the 2 passing weapons they still had. Pearsall's no sure thing to go this week. Kittle's definitely dead. And we're not going to see Ayuk for a while. The whole Juwan Jennings thing is kind of up in the air as well. So there's just not a lot going on there. Thankfully, they're playing the Saints. So I just think the offense is going to be give it to CMC. I think that it's going to be the entire offense this week. And I think he's going to score 25 points. I don't think there's any way he doesn't score 25 points.
I'm with you. And it'll probably be inefficient. And he's probably going to catch like the Jameer Gibbs line where it's like 14 catches for 30 yards. But he's just going to get so much volume. Like he
had 11 targets this week and 22 carries. That's a lot of work.
He has to get everything. Like you saw it last week against Seattle. They just started funneling everything through him. And it's only going to be worse this week. I think he is going to honestly set a record for the amount of touches he has this week.
Purdy may not play. It could be Mac Jones. It's just a lot going on. He might be, as weird as it sounds, and people going, oh, gee, Christian McCaffrey's an injury risk. He might be the only fucking healthy player on the team. What? So,
it will be Wildcat every play. Wildcat.
Fuck, bring back Wildcat. Jesus Christ. I haven't heard that for a while, Bowdo. That's a refreshing change.
If there's any, Friday Night Lights fans out there, they'll know what we're talking about.
Tay, I'm going to come back to you for a fantasy wide receiver now because we've got your picks for Kyler and Connor. Are you going back to the Arizona well, or you got something fresh?
I've got something fresh this time, mate, but it kind of still stems. I'm basically stacking that bitch up with Bowdo. I'm going Garrett Wilson up against the Bills, and I normally like to write down how the team was last year still, because I still feel like that data sort of still matters this
first month
season. But the Bills isn't one that I'm writing down. I'm basically just writing down secondary is in shambles. Defense looks like absolute shit. And that's basically my eyeballs telling me that from the game that I watched against the Ravens. They are missing so much of their secondary. They are hammered by injuries at the moment. And it was so evident against the Ravens. I know the Ravens are a great offense and they can make okay defenses look like absolute shit anyway. But I am looking at this Bills team, if they stay the way they are, as a team to target. And I think, honestly, I was super impressed by Justin Fields' arm. It wasn't just his legs. He actually passed the ball well. He had a lot of zip. And, Glenn had come up with a very good plan for Justin Fields as his quarterback. So I just think there's an opportunity here. Garrett Wilson could have easily had a second touchdown in the game. He just got stopped short. So I think he's set up for another good game here against the Bills because I think it could be another high-scoring game.
Mate, I also think it's worth just bringing this is something that Kev mentioned in the week that you were absent too, Tay, is that those guys work together in college as well. There's a lot of familiarity there, and it's clearly something where the Jets have really thought about what is going on around Fields. So to have those two kind of connected again and to give them that latitude to do things they do well together, I think matters a lot. About, do you think it's refreshing to see the Jets not being shit?
I think it's a refreshing change to see. What's their conference up there? The AFC, is it AFC East? All them years of the Patriots constantly being number one, and then Bills. It's nice to see a little bit of a rotation of the torch up there. So, man, I'm rooting for him. Like, I always have that underdog. Everyone loves an underdog.
Don't we? I think it's an Aussie thing, too. We're just like, they're shit. Let's cheer for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What if they're good all of a sudden? I think that's just an Aussie thing, isn't it?
100. And do you know what? And if the team's good, straight away, we fucking hate them. I fucking can't stand them cunts.
Exactly
you can't
right.
keep it.
We get so tired of like the Warriors and the basketball. We're like, they won once, share it around.
Same with the Panthers. We're like, it's so good to see the Penrith Panthers up there. And now it's like, fuck, 4 in a row. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, no one likes them anymore. Especially not.
Nah, no way.
Mate, I'm going to need to press your tape for a line on this Garrett Wilson Buffalo situation. How many points? Where do you reckon he'll finish?
20 plus PPR.
20 plus. I love it. That sounds fantastic. Sign me up. I wish I had more Garrett Wilson shares too. I sort of wish I'd had a little bit more confidence in draft season. So hopefully this will make me pay for that. Hey, Bowdo, you got a wide receiver for us, mate?
Man, I think we almost might get a full Cardinals side here.
Love it.
I had Harrison in the back of my mind even before the double down on the running back situation. I just think that even if he gets that similar target of 6 to 7, I still think with that he'll get more yardage against the Carolina Panthers. So my bold prediction, well, I wouldn't say bold, but my prediction is over 100 yards and at least one touchdown against the Carolina Panthers.
What was weird for me was that there were 9 different pass catches for the Cardinals. I couldn't have named 9 different people who could have caught a pass on the Cardinals going into last week. So it's just kind of like, why is there such a wide tree of people getting targets? So I'm kind of hoping that narrows, because the amount of targets was fine. There's 29 passing attempts, 21 receptions. That's fine in a game where you're winning. So I don't mind those bits. It's just, 21 receptions doesn't go very far when you've got 9 people catching it. So I'm just hoping that narrows and that maybe it's like next week there's like 5 pass catches and then everyone's volume can go up. Because that was the only alarming thing for me, is like, wow, that's a lot of heads.
Man, all you need is 1 or 2. Like you look at these randoms that pop up on sides. They get 2-3 catches and 80 yards and a touchdown. It's like, oh wow, this guy must be good. But you've never heard of him before. Yeah,
you don't hear of him again either.
No, that's it. I've just dumped $20 fab on this guy, and he's peeling oranges, for the rest of the year.
It's Greg Dortch. It's fucking Greg Dortch. Yeah. So 100%. You're like, that guy sounds like an accountant. But how many points do you think he's going to score against this absolutely shite Carolina defense this week? 20 plus?
Well, I guess if I'm backing up what I said before, it has to be 20 plus.
20 plus? Okay.
Yeah, 20 plus. Yeah, I think he got that 17, 18 last week. So, definitely 20 plus this week.
Mate, I've gone straight to my wide receiver. He showed some promise last week, but I just think the offense was struggling a little bit. I don't mind seeing Ted McMillan get the targets he was getting, and I want to see him, in response to probably trailing in this game, get a bunch of targets for the Panthers. And I'm kind of going the opposite here. I'm like, in junk mode, what if he can score enough? What if he can get 100 yards? What if he can get 7 catches for 100 yards? That's the sort of day I think he can have. Ted McMillan, 100 yards receiving.
Fuck, we are targeting the living shit out of that game. That is a heavy dose of one game in our breakouts. Let's go. I hope it's 40.
I don't think we've ever done this before. We're just all honing in. I'm going to go to Bowdo for his tight end, though, because, tight end's such a bullshit position and it can be difficult. So I always like to let the guests go first on the tight end. What do you got for us, Bowdo?
So this week, we've got a Super Bowl rematch of the Eagles and Chiefs. I just think that, Kansas City will, hopefully not. Hopefully I'm wrong here. Beloved Eagles fan here. They'll shut down the run like they did in the Super Bowl. and Hertz will be looking in the air, that safe window in the middle of the field. Dallas got it. He's always a safe option, but I think this week, he'll get more than what he bargained for. So if I was to put a number to it, we're going to get at least 15 to 20 fantasy points easy. He's going to get 100% completion rate and over 50 yards.
Oh my God. We didn't have a single tight end at all last week. Score 16. Can I push you to 16? Can I just get you to say 16's his floor?
Mate, I ain't afraid. I'm going 17.
Oh!
I can see from just your stiff upper lip too. You were like incensed, but even asked. You're like, who are you questioning me?
16.1.
Yeah. Run it straight, Matty C. Run it straight.
Fuck. Well, this is a problem because I've got a tight end who I'm like 15 points is probably bold, and then I'm like, oh fuck, no one even scored 16. So I'm going to say 16 for Brenton Strange against Cincinnati because Cincinnati are balls, and Brenton Strange was he was getting plenty of work, and he was a pretty big target. He scored a touchdown, first touchdown of the year for the Jags went to Brenton Strange. So I'm doing the same thing, and I had 15 written down, but now you've gone to 17. Do I match? Let's go 17. Let's go 17 for Brenton Strange. Let's do it.
Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared.
No, okay, I'm right with you. We're on the bus. Tay, who's your tight end?
I'm going to make a late pivot because Strange was I had a daily double for tight end, Matty C, and I sort of had some combined numbers for it. Brendan Strange was one of them, but I did have someone else that I was thinking about pivoting into. So I'm actually just going to swap Brendan Strange out for this guy, but. Of course, I'm targeting the same game. I was basically going to take a well-known tight end and someone that was on waivers this week. So what I had was McBride against the Panthers. Shocked me. They were last against the tight end position, but that's not exactly going to, win me over any fans in the breakout game, taking possibly the best tight end in, this week with Bowers and Kittle.
Uninjured tight end on earth. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take McBride against the Panthers, and then I'm also going to take Juwan Johnson against the Niners. So I did have Strange written down because I liked his matchup better, but I absolutely love the utilization of Juwan Johnson in the first week for the Saints. The Saints are going to dump off a lot in those intermediate areas, and you already saw that in the first week. He just had so many targets in week one. So I really like him again against this Niners team. I think they're going to have to, again, sort of target those, intermediate routes. So what I've done is I've essentially paired McBride and Juwan Johnson together, and I've said that they will have 30-plus PPR points and both be in the top 8.
Oh, both!
So, because I didn't want this to be like, McBride has 26 and fucking the other guy has like 4, and I claim it. I want them both to go well. I don't want it to be like one fucking holding up the other. So I wanted to put that disclaimer that they're both going to be in the top 8 because I feel I want this to hit to be a proper daily double. I want them both to go well.
R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
Oh, Alex Trebek, yeah. Pour one out for Sir Alex. I love this. Before I recap all the madness we've just gone through, I want to say, just off the bat, there is no way that us, with this body of work right here, could potentially be worse than last week with Jackson. Because, and I'm going to read these out quickly, we had 12 breakout ideas last week, and do you know how many we hit on? Duck egg. Not even a single one. We blanked. We fucking blanked. So this week, here are
12
our
12, Matty. We're 12 and 12 this week.
Kyler top 4 versus Carolina. Oh, let's just bundle on James Conner top 8 at running back in the same game. Justin Fields top 3 versus Buffalo. I love that call, Bowdo. Drake May 25-plus points. DeAndre Swift at Detroit, 20-plus points or 2 touchdowns, if either come up or if both. We're going to give that to Bowdo. CMC, 25 points. Fuck, it could be 125. Garrett Wilson versus Buffalo, 20 points plus. Marvin Harrison against Carolina, 20-plus points. Ted McMillan, 100 yards. Let's put a number on that. Let's go 17 points. And then a tight end. I love this. We've got 4 tight ends for a 3 tight end breakout section because Tay gets creative, and I love when he does this. Dallas got it, 17 points. Bowdo up in the ante. I love that because he did that. Ethan Strange. I'm going rugby league here. Brenton Strange, 17 points. And then Trey McBride and Juwan Johnson, both to combine for 30 points, but not because one carried the other, because they both finished top 8 at tight end. Surely we're going to get at least one this week, fellas. Come on.
That's the target. Beat last week.
I think
I'll take one.
I think each week the bar needs to get that a little bit lower.
Well, I mean, the thing is, and Taylor brought this up when we were talking about this segment after we sort of looked at each other in the mirror earlier in the week and went, we didn't score a fucking point last week in breakouts. He goes, but it's because they're breakouts. We're not trying to predict, oh, well, this guy will score at least 4 points. We're going bold. Yeah. So, we also had to remember we're not fucking oracles. So, anyway.
I tell you what would be fun as well. Then like real, like on the cusp, might not even get on the field kind of guys. Those would be, I guess, good bold predictions. It's like, Ollie Gordon's going to get 5, runs more than 15 yards. Like, that would be a cool one to do.
Tyler Beatty's going to get 3 targets. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be starting that one up for the 5 flex league.
You'd be picking all Arizona guys because they're all getting a slice of the pie there.
100%.
Yeah, they're back up tight end. 2
fucking
targets.
Arizona,
over under 1.5.
Yeah. Arizona's Cowboys fucking finishing wide receiver 5.
Unbelievable. The segment that's taken Australia by storm, Tay, is Taylor's Tipping Point. Welcome to week 2 of Taylor's Tipping Point. Did you enjoy week 1, mate, with Jackson?
Speaking of Alex Trebek, rest in peace. We've got our own little game show on the podcast this year. Sort of something I came up with about a day out from our first recording. It's sort of racking my brain for a little while. I didn't really want to do what we did with Taylor Talk last year because we sort of, like you just brought it up, Bowdo, about like coming up with guys that are sort of not really owned and stuff like that. But we kind of do that in starts of the week. So last year with Taylor Talk, I was basically doing a player in each position, but was like, pretty well lowly owned for guys to have a look at. But then, like you said, I felt like I was just taking away from another segment. So sort of racked the brain and come up with a little idea that we're going to do with all the guests when they come on this year is it's called Taylor's Tipping Point. So what's going to happen is neither you or I have any idea what fantasy player Matty's going to come up with. So we're going to have 5 separate names. And what's going to happen is, let's just say, for instance, J.K. Dobbins. And so I will come out first, Bowdo, and say, I think he's going to score over 5 fantasy points this week. And then you'll say, okay, I think he's going to go over 7 fantasy points. And we're going to go back and forward until one of us hears a number from the other person and decides, I think they're going to go lower than that. And that'll stop it there. And then basically that becomes the line over and under.
Okay. So when one person gets to a number that you're nervous about, you just go, I'm out.
Where's my I need a little paddle.
Yeah, it's like an auction draft. It kind of.
You've got a little gnome behind you. That'll do. Can you use one of the gnomes?
Yeah, I'll use one of the bluey gnomes. Yeah.
Oh, is that what they are? They're bluey ones.
Yeah, bluey gnomes. If there's any parents out there, they know that they've definitely sat their kids in front of Bluey and watched it with them. So,
but if you don't have kids, you should still watch Bluey. It is a great TV show.
Yeah, bang on.
All right, so Bowdo's got his gnome. Say you're just going to yell cap or something. I don't know. What do young people say?
That's all. Jackson said that's like cap or something, but we're not really down with the.
He's very cool, by the way, so I don't doubt him that he's using street lingo. I don't doubt him at all. He's very cool.
we could go very pedestrian and just say stop like that. That would be fine. Or that's
fuck no.
I'm saying under. Like it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, so as long as you indicate with whatever verbiage you've got, I'm out. If it gets too rich for your blood, that's all you need. All you need. Bluey gnome, whatever it takes.
Even he's going to be way shitter than that.
Fuck. I'm going to recap last week real quickly because Jackson went ham on this. Chris Olave, he settled on 10. Tay was out. He scored 12.4. Brees Hall, Jackson's got to 12 before Tay was out. He scored 16.5 and looked pretty good. Tay went to 19 on Mahomes before Jackson was out. He scored 26, so a nice one there for Tay. Sam Laporta, it took till late in the game. It was the last drive before he got there, but 12 points was the line, and he ended up with 13.8 because he had 2 catches on that last drive. And then the last one here, Tay, you were really on Brian Thomas Jr. You put a line at 20, and then just kind of weirdly the offense worked around him, and they just didn't pass as much in the second half, and he wound up with 9. 9! So the world wins the first go of this 4-1. But the way we score that is so they won 4-1. The world won last week. They've got 1 point. They won game 1. So, world, or Bowdo, your chance here is to extend that lead to 2-0 by outperforming Tay here. Tay, fuck, you got a bit of work to do, mate.
Certainly. Let's get to it.
Okay. I've got 5 players here. Neither of you have seen the envelopes beforehand, and what I'm going to do is introduce them and their matchup. Guys will bid back and forth, and then I'll tell you how much they're projected for, just so you can decide whether you actually done a good job or not, and whether you should feel shame immediately. And the first player out of the gate, I'm going to pick on my own team here and go with Joe Burrow, who had a stonker last week. He threw up like 8 points as a quarterback. Horrible. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars, whose defense not notoriously fantastic. Mates, I want to start with Bowdo on this one. Bowdo, how many points do you want to just start an opening bid for Joe Burrow against the Jags?
Let's try and scare some of these buyers. Let's just go 17 straight off the bat.
Straight out of the gate, 17.
I'll say over 19.
Let's go 21.
Ooh. Over 22.
Can you go by halves?
We haven't done halves before, but I think you can't. Scoring is decimal.
Yeah. I'll keep that in my back pocket. Let's go 23.
I'm going to go over 24.
24 and a half.
Ooh, good line. Good line. Over 25.
Well, it's against Jacksonville. 26.
This is a thing. Jesus, did he say 26?
He did.
I didn't stutter.
I'm going to go cap there. I'm going to say under.
So Mahomes scored 26 last week. So that's an example of what 26 points looks like, because we're just using sleeper standard scoring. If you just join a 10-team league, whatever the default settings are there. So 26 is exactly what Patrick Mahomes did last week. He is currently projected for 21.58. So it's a big jump on what projection is. How do you feel about that one now that you know that better?
I think, with Jamar Chase having a bit of a stinker around week 1, I think they're just going to give it to him a little bit more. Against Jacksonville. Yeah, they had the win last week, against average side. But, I think Burrow will bounce back. Last week was a bad week for him. But get that out of the way, bounce back, week 2.
And if Chase had 11 for 250 and 2 touchdowns this week, I would not be surprised. Like, he just had 2 weeks of production in 1 week. It would not surprise me at all. And I'm a Jags fan, but I'm very realistic. Woo, that's a hot start. I was not expecting that. I'm going to move to a wide receiver, and I'm going to go to my boy, Taylor, Cortland Sutton. They're playing against Indianapolis in Indianapolis. Can I get an opening bid for Cortland Sutton in week 2?
What's that, over 11?
But do you not like this guy? 12.
Oh, sorry, you say 12? I couldn't hear.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I said 12. Yeah.
I'll go 13.
I think he's predicted for about 14. So let's go 14 and a half.
Ooh. I feel like I'm going so many unders, but I'm going to go under.
Taylor is such a pessimist. He's a pessimist.
I don't know why it's happening. It's like
I will admit, one away, I was pulling the pin too. So
I don't know. I just got a feeling that there might be it was a funny game plan by Peyton. Like, I guess because every single time they were passing, they were turning it over. It kind of threw things out a little bit.
It's so weird, but this is kind of where it's interesting though, because if they are passing, there's not millions of, they're not Arizona deep with 9 people you can pass the ball to. They're not. They're passing trees with the more slender, so Sutton's getting a bunch of targets. He's projected for 14.21. So Bowdo's put the line at 14.5. Was 14 your number? Like, what's...
Yeah, it was. It was kind of, I guess he is number 14, so that's probably what's sticking in my mind. But I don't know. There's just something about this game. I spoke to you about this in the preseason, Matty. I've kind of been off Bo Nix for fantasy this year. Not so much that I think he's going to be as bad as he was in week 1. It's just one of these things where I think there's going to be game scripts where they're just going to be able to run the ball a shit ton. And like I said, I think they should have done it against Tennessee. And I'm wondering if they might have learned their lesson and they might do it a lot in this game and just sort of run through this Colts team, use that awesome offensive line. So I'm just worried there's going to be games where they win the game, but Bo Nix has like 120 yards passing. Like that's just my worry. And I just thought 14, you know what, if he doesn't have a touchdown, there's a good chance I might go under.
All right. I'm going to move to the tight end here, Tay, and I feel like this is one you won't be able to resist. We're going to bring some Dallas in here and go with Fergie Ferg against the New York Giants. That is in Dallas as well. Can I get an opening bid from you, Tay, who has always been a bit of a proponent of Fergie Ferg?
Yeah, all right, I'll go over 7.
Oh, God, is this the first time this will happen where I'm just like under straight off the bat?
It will be. You don't think he'll score 7?
Yeah. Nah. I'm going to revert back to my my hate for Dallas. I don't know. I would hate to see him get 7 under normal circumstances. I just think they're going to probably run the ball a little bit. It worked for him last week against a hard opponent. I think New York's a bit of an easier opponent, so there'll be more opportunities to run it. So I think Williams will get that spotlight. And they've got a lot of mouths to feed over there. They've got Pickens there, is new to the team. They've got Lamb. They don't need to throw it to Ferguson. So I'm going to say under.
Ooh. I'm glad I didn't go higher than 7. Start. Yeah. I actually thought I was doing a decently low bid, so I'm happy with that.
Well, I pretty much had a full script ready to go.
Ooh. Can I ask if Tay went 6, would he have drawn you?
Well, man, it's not hard for a tight end to get a duck egg, so I still would have said under.
How low could he have gone? What would have drawn a bid?
Man, if he said like 4, I would have said over, but I think 4 would have been the cutoff.
Wow. Just cut to Jake Ferguson, who's like I said, what did I do to you, mate?
We like I said, we all know tight ends are not the most lovable fantasy position.
What?
I can't believe you're saying this out loud, using the platform that you are to say such outrageous things.
Everyone's used, 0 RB. I tend to use 0 tight end strategy.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad idea. It's saying that Ferguson, first touchdown scorer, book it.
What he's going to do is he's going to catch a 1-yard touchdown pass and score 7.1 and really fuck with you, Bowdo. And then he's going to go to the bench.
Well, that's when I say sorry, world.
Sorry, world.
Yeah, just wait. This is the Jake Ferguson legacy game loading. That's what's happening there. Shout out Manjot for giving me that verbiage. Let's move to running back. And I think this will be an interesting one because the offense has definitely shown it's got some issues, but the player himself is quite talented. So it is running back Devon Achane for the Dolphins versus New England. They're at home. Bowdo, I'm going to get an opening bid from you on fantasy points for Devon Achane at home against New England.
Oh, man, it's hot. It's hot down in Miami. Man, 15. We'll get this party started, eh?
Hey, 15.
Yeah, I'll go to 16.
Yeah? 16. Let's go 18.
Ooh, 18.
18. Ooh, it's getting tight now. Even the gnomes behind me are going, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
18.5.
Let's go 19.
I'm going to take under.
He's out. That 18.5 told me he wasn't going much further.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it was a decky one. It was just when I was like, I'm going to push him up a little bit further, and then I'm like, I'm going to get stuck holding the bag here if I go a 19.
So 19, and so that against New England, who haven't sort of, they're not setting the world on fire in anything, but you're at home early in the season and you're an explosive player. This is kind of why I thought he'd be an interesting one to bring up. How do you think he's getting that 19 points there, Bowdo? He only had 4 targets last week. Anything that changes?
Yeah, even if he has 4 targets, if they're 4 touchdowns, man, that's all you need. He'll only, he'll scab 1 or 2 close to the line. They'll use him in the run game, obviously, but close to the line, he's a good target.
I was going to go 50 and a half.
I'm not even a Dolphins fan, and I would have got mid 20s.
Oh shit! I fucked that up
with confidence.
Jesus Christ! I love you on this segment, Bowdo. Can I just bring you back to play this segment every week? Screw Taylor in this segment. Let's just bring you.
Well, this could be my calling, or it could be like next week when people are listening to this, like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah,
he's an absolute muppet. He's just he's yelling out numbers like it's fucking the Price is Right.
You reckon, like, has this guy had a stroke? He's just saying numbers. 35. I'm naming this segment Bowdo's tipping point for this week, by the way.
I'm fine with that. Well, until I get on the board, it's the guest's tipping point.
Well, that should be the segment. Whoever wins progresses on.
Do you reckon it's King of the Hill?
King of the Hill.
What I love about this is because I know something you guys don't know is who the last player I'm going to mention is, and I've kept them to last for a reason. It's Jalen Hurts versus Kansas City. I think Bowdo's going on the moon on this one.
1.5.
At least I'm coming to you for the first bid, so let's get this dance on. I'm going to shut up and just let you guys go.
17.
Oh, so that's an insult.
30 million.
1 billion trillion shibbity-bidoo yen. Let's go 20.
Let's go 21.5.
Fuck. Let's go 24.
Ooh. I'm going to chuck 25.
25.5.
Chiefs. I'm going to go under. Fucking unders. I can't stay away from them.
25.5. So this is less than Mahomes scored last week, Tay. Jeez.
No, I was thinking about it's actually less. It's still more than what Hurts actually scored last week, though. Because I was even thinking about his fantasy score in SuperCoach. And I'm like, getting 25.5, that's getting him to like 51 in SuperCoach. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Might be a bit more Barkley in this one, hopefully. So, see how we go.
Push.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I would even take some, if I'm trying to get unders, I would even take like Hurts throwing a couple of touchdowns because it's only worth 4 instead of 6. Yeah. So it's like that would actually even help my case if he actually decided to throw one to AJ Brown for a fucking change. So, I don't know. I just think this Chiefs defense, I know it didn't look amazing against the Chargers, but generally it's pretty good. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, well, that's what they said last year.
I can't.
So with all the smartness of a bloke who's won the Super Bowl.
Here we go. Saquon, 4 touchdowns, baby.
I hope you're right about that one.
Yeah. Hurts with a 3.58 game. Well, see out of that. Hey, I'm going to run through these. This has been, Tay, this segment is so much fun.
So many unders for me again.
Yeah, right. And I just knew Bowdo was not going to stop until it got to 55 with the last one. So that's kind of why I knew this segment was going to be a lot of fun. So we've got Joe Burrow. Bowdo took to 26 points. He's projected for 21.58 against the Jags. Then next off, we went to Cortland Sutton, who has he's 14.21 is his projection against Indianapolis. Bowdo took it 14.5 before Taylor was out. Managed to get Taylor taken over on one of them. It was Fergie Ferg against New York. He's projected for 8.2 and Taylor's got him at 7.
To be fair, I didn't even get a chance to go unders.
You got a discount. And then from there, it went sky high. A chain against the Patriots in Miami. He's projected for 20.2. So Bowdo got a bit of a discount there, but you're happy to go far higher than the 19 you settled on. And the last one here was only the reigning Super Bowl champion and MVP, Jalen Hurts against Kansas City, where he's projected for 21.7, and Bowdo went up to 25.5, and we feel like that's about half what you would have bet on. So Bowdo's got 4 overs, Taylor's got 1. Looking forward to seeing how that goes, because the world leads this segment.
I felt like I got a bargain on that last one, to be honest.
It's going 60.
Yeah. 65.
First half.
I can't believe you're raising him by 1s. I thought you were going to raise him by 5s there, Bowdo.
To be fair, it's your segment, mate. Bowdo's tipping point. How am I meant to win?
It's scripted. It's all rigged. Yeah. So
like
just for all the listeners out there, bang on.
It's all rigged. You can get that shirt in the merch store as well. Thank you, lads, for playing Tipping Point. Good luck, Taylor, in Bowdo's Tipping Point. Bowdo, you don't need luck. You're going to sail this one home.
No, I look forward to my next opponent.
Another great guest is here. Are they up to the standard?
Busier than a one-legged cat in a sandbox, so I am good.
My boy!
Only one way to find out.
This is what the people come here for.
I've heard everyone's answers about these, and I've had to think about it.
5 questions. 2 dickheads. Loading.
We've gone through a couple of great segments. One of the great things we like to do is talk to our guests a little bit about what makes them tick. We met Bowdo maybe 2 months ago in the preseason, and here we are in week 2 of the regular season. We want to get to know Bowdo a little more. Are you ready? After you did 5 questions the first time round with no warning, are you ready for what's coming this time? Because the questions aren't the same, brother.
I'm going to have some very strategic answers this time around. I'm not going to be running my mouth like last time.
Oh, scientific on bitch.
I mean, last time you were calling out family members, you were shooting down the in-laws. It was brilliant.
Let's edit that out.
It's terrific. The social media after that too, they were all pitching in. It was just the best.
Yeah.
This works differently too. I asked a softball question to get you going last time. When you come on the second time, no fucking softballs, mate. Tay's got the first question for you, and it's a real riddler.
Oh, straight into it, mate. Absolutely great questions from us. Non-wankers, of course. Straight out of the bat, mate. So, Bowdo, would you rather fight 1 Derrick Henry-sized Kyler Murray or 5 Kyler Murray-sized Derrick Henrys? Classic question.
I need to think that one out. I think I'm going to faint from trying to figure out what's what.
I'm dead.
I'm dead already. I've died from stressing about my waiver wires and fighting some Kyler Murrays and Derrick Henrys. Repeat it for me again.
Well, as Kyler Murray's going to score over 20 fantasy points this week.
So you get to face 1 Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
One Kyler Murray, but he's the size of Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Or you get to face 5 Derrick Henrys, but they're all Kyler Murray sized.
I'll go the first one. I've got a big toddler that's strong like Derrick Henry. Wrangling her to change her clothes. So I'll fight a Kyler Murray.
So this is just from experience? Is that what's the tipping point here?
I think I'll fight. Yeah, it's experience here. I'm fighting Kyler Murray all the way.
Because you do it on a daily. It's just like
I do it on the daily. Yeah. He kind of runs. He kind of runs like a toddler. Like when the pocket breaks, he's running around. It's like, get here.
I don't think the
yeah,
Ravens
let's-
were looking and were saying, you know what we're going to do is we're going to let the toddler loose. I don't think the Bills' defense in the first half was going, oh, fuck, the toddler's coming. Like,
Yeah, they wouldn't have been as scared.
let's go.
Kyler Murray sized Derrick Henry, that's for sure.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got too much experience on this one. Matty C, too easy.
Yeah, I think he slam dunked that one. Mate, okay, better one here then, if that one was such a fucking simple one. Which player in fantasy have you avoided drafting because you just don't buy their hype?
Well, I guess some of the players I didn't get that opportunity to get them because I guess all my drafts were around, I'm talking high picks here. So
Yeah.
you made mention before, Wilson, I wasn't prepared to spend, second round, third round on a Wilson when I didn't know what to expect from a Jets offense. So I do regret it now. I avoided a lot of Wilson when I could be potentially reaping the benefits now.
All right, Tay.
Another great question from, yours truly here, Bowdo. Who is your arch rival in fantasy football? And why is it Isaac?
Yeah, he's definitely up there. He's definitely up there. I've had a couple over the years.
Who's the Voldemort? Who's the one? The one you can't stand to lose to?
It's probably, I think I made mention it last time. This one guy fleeced me a few years ago, and I just still can't get over it.
Fucking holding grudges. He's taking names.
No, I won't mention names, but I don't know if he's changed his logo every year on fantasy, so you kind of lose track of this guy's identity. I think he fleeces a few people, and
Shapeshifter.
He gets a new Medicare. He gets a new license and Medicare card. He just a whole new person.
Catch me again. Catch me again. Is it
Frank Abagnale? Is that what's going
Frank
on?
Abagnale.
He's been on the run ever since he stole Joe Mixon from me.
Oh my god!
But yeah,
That's
this
a sentence I wasn't expecting to hear when I woke up this morning.
Yeah, if you gave him Mixon back this year, would have got him back.
Oh yeah. I would have happily given him back Tom Brady and I can't remember the trade. I think it was fucking the Patriots defense and Tom Brady, and I gave him Mixon. I'm like, yeah, Tom Brady's sick. Like, fuck, he's a really good player. And then by the end of it, when everyone's fleeced, like getting in me, like, Bowdo, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, I'm just like, oh man, ego and pride is down the drain. I'm like, I'll never let this up.
Wow.
And mind you, this was like 8 years ago.
So you're not holding on to it at all. What was the username of the player back then? Let's go with that. Who's out them 8 years ago?
Fuck. I know he had it was a Redskins logo at the time.
That
I
should
don't
have
know.
been a warning sign right there. That should have been a red flag.
Either way, he's dead to me. Whoever you are, and wherever you are.
Wow.
I won't come and find you, but I'm definitely calling you out.
Wow. So when it's not Isaac, it's defunct team's logo guy.
Yeah, it's Leonardo DiCaprio when he's on the run.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. That was a journey into the looking glass I was not expecting, Bowdo.
Knock.
And that was deep. That was deep.
Woo. I hate that prick too now. Yeah. So you've recruited me. Hey, mate, I've got a question for you. Would you prefer to have to toss a coin to make every fantasy lineup or trade decision this year, or just have your mother make the decision for you?
I think I would probably toss a coin.
Bowdo's mum, not fit for purpose.
Here he goes. He's bagging out his family again. Standard Bowdo.
No.
Come to expect.
I love Mum, but she'd probably pick all Newcastle Knights players. She, she doesn't know the difference.
Oh, Mama Bowdo, she's getting rinsed.
I know. It's hard enough
She's
being an
all right.
Ice man.
She's all right.
Oh, mate. So
I'll
that's it.
flip a coin any day of the week.
Taking the coin. You know how many folks are saying they'd rather just toss a coin in the air than trust their own mothers? Oh, my gosh. The only person who's pretty much said that they'd trust their mother was Ian, who said he wishes he was Manjot because he reckons Manjot's mum would rinse all of us because she spent so much time hearing Manjot talk about it and she gets involved. And Ian's like, yeah, that's what I want to do is be reborn as Manjot so I can have my mother make all my decisions for me. So far, everyone else has been like, nah, toss the coin.
And she'd probably make some pastries.
Yeah, I'll leave it to chance.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Tay, you want to bring this one home?
All right, let's bring this train home. If you could have any sporting movie character join your fantasy football team, who would it be?
Sporting movie. Who's the coach from Remember the Titans?
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, what's his name though? Oh,
Coach Bombay. Is it Bombay?
Coach Bombay's from Mighty Ducks. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's go, Coach Bombay. Let's go, Coach
Bombay.
Absolute pivot here.
Late pivot.
I
What position are you running him out in?
Is he coaching your fantasy football team?
He's my quarterback.
No, that's why I said you need to edit this because I'm fucking terrible at.
Is he just like you're Zach Wilson? He's going to nail the mums.
Yeah. Bombay, slick back hair.
Oh no! Let's pivot with Mighty Ducks. You know the Basham brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a reference.
One of them, man.
One of them.
One of the Basham brothers.
Fucking have both.
Draft them both.
Yeah, you know both.
Oh, but one of them can left and right tackle. I'll be happy with that. Them guys. Man, that could be a new fantasy. Whole world of new fantasy.
Yeah, in this fantasy, Bowdo's the quarterback.
And they're protecting.
Come with us on this. Stay with us. So they're on the offensive line. Bowdo's the quarterback, and this is like, I don't know, say PFF ranked what? Offensive line? 3?
Yeah, it's fucking right up there. Right up there with Denver.
And you go, okay, so
we're doing
line. So, Jalen Hurts should have a good season because he's got the number 2 offensive line. Well, Bowdo's got the number 3 offensive line.
Yeah, that's like me.
Follow me on my career mode here.
Okay.
Let's just go Basham Brothers, fucking RB1, RBA and RBB, running back 1 and 2. That's who I want.
One just spells the other. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
You take out one Basham brother, you bring in the other.
You've got about 30 minutes of editing here, but you've got a good RB1 and 2.
We got there. We got some running backs from the Mighty Ducks movies. I love this.
Do not ask me a sporting movie question again.
Oh, good. I've actually written that down to never ask you that again.
For next week when I'm on the show for Bowdo's tipping point, no more questions about movies. All right.
No, that's it. No, and we know that you're in your element in the tipping point. So we'll keep it strictly to business. You've emerged with a slightly wet, maybe torn sail on that one, but you survived. You've gotten into dock with the 5 questions. Well done, mate. It's a high pressure situation though, because you're on the spot.
Yeah. Way to go. Way to make it uncomfortable.
Hey, that's the whole point, right?
Bang on.
Yeah. Hey, Bowdo, if you're willing to, now that we've got through that bit, we're going to get you back on the Sunday show because we want to get through some mailbag and we love having the opinions of our guests for that. But also, we need to do the coveted segment, starts of the week. Jackson got the world team off to a great start last week, and the world is trusting you to take them the rest of the way and establish the same kind of lead the world had on Taylor and I last year, where the world won week 1 and 2 and put us really against the cushion. You looking forward to coming back for that one, mate?
I certainly am. I will see you guys then.
Yeah. Hey, Tay, of course, we're going to have Bowdo back. Looking forward to having you back, mate. Going to dive into the mailbag. But, mate, we've got a SUPERCOACH HALFA that's going to happen between now and then. You're looking forward to that one, mate? We've had so much support.
Oh, mate, the support on that thing has been enormous. We've even got a major prize to discuss for our overall league that's got around 250 people in it already. But honestly, the amount of people listening has just honestly been so humbling. So, mate, can't wait to get into that. We've obviously had a week of fantasy football to actually talk about and go through the SUPERCOACH scoring and who's getting most bought and who's getting most sold, mate. Can't wait to touch base with that this week.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. And then the G'day Gridiron guys are in on Saturday as well. Make sure you catch them. They have had that show earlier in the week where they broke down what happened through the week. They even previewed the Thursday night football game that happens Friday here. They'll talk about some of the really impactful games coming up in the slate of NFL for this coming week. And then we are back for the Sunday show. So I cannot wait. We'll see you all then. In the meantime, hooroo, lads.
Thank you.
The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show. Thanks to the Aussie Gridiron Network, Australia's home for NFL and Australian gridiron content. Discover everything the network has to offer, including G'day Gridiron, Pastry Press, NFL, and Aussie Gridiron Today. Buy merch and win free stuff. Visit the mothership at linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network. Hooroo!